You're just saying this, I'm making a promise. You see, when you're 30, 40 years married, those vows are very important. When Millie was losing her hair and she's full of steroid, she had a bigger mustache than me, and she was there in the hospital, and she says, you know, I just want to die. I don't think, look at me, I'm embarrassing you. And I told her, you're crazy, man. I made a vow to you in sickness and in health. I'm just fulfilling my vow. It's not about what does love have to do with this. It's a vow, a commitment, a fidelity forever and ever, in good times and bad times, in sickness and in health. I'm not going to rank out now. So this is wonderful to make vows before the Lord. And so these people made vows, and they made vows for the animals from verses 9 through 13. You read it on your own. In verses 14 to 24, when they make a vow, they couldn't pay, so they put their property up. But if they put their property up and they want their property back, now they got money, they got to pay 20%. From verses 25, verse 26, there's three exclusions there. He says, but the firstborn of the animals, which shall be the Lord's firstborn, no man shall dedicate, whether it is an ox or sheep. Why? Because the firstborn already belonged to me. They're the Lord's. Verse 27. And if it's an unclean animal, then he shall redeem it according to your valuation, and shall add 1/5 or 20% to it. Or if it is not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to your valuation. Nevertheless, no devoted offering that a man may devote to the Lord of all that he has, both man and beast, or the field of his possession, shall be sold or redeemed. Every devoted offering is most holy to the Lord. No person under the ban who may become doomed to destruction among men shall be redeemed, but shall surely be put to death. So the only one who was excluded from giving was anyone who was sentenced to death, a criminal who was doomed to destruction. He said he should surely be put to death. Verse 30, and all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's. It is holy to the Lord. You see, he speaks here about the first fruits. Everything belonged to God. The first fruits belonged to God. Whether there was fruit from the garden, whether there was fruit from the land, whether there was fruit from the tree, the first fruits, whatever came first, did not belong to you. It belonged to God. And you have to give your first fruits to God first. And they offer them to God. Some were burnt, and some were basically given to the priest. They will consecrate it, offer them, but then the priest will eat it as their source of income. And so God here says everything is holy to the Lord. Verse 31, if a man wants to redeem any of his tithes, he shall add 1/5 to it. And concerning the tithe of the herd of the flock, of whatever passes under the rod, the 10th one shall be holy to the Lord. So if you have a herd, and you just put it through a little alley, a catwalk, what is it? A chute. Thank you. You put it through a chute, and there's a guy with a rod, and you go, man. He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, man, 10th, boom. And then if it's a 10th one, and you're saying, oh, priest, not that one, that's a championship one. Let me take the 11th one. And the priest says, oh no, every 10th one. You cannot say, no, not that one. Notice verse 32.